the second map there as well. So if you do want to check that out, head over to the B stream with Wolfie and Scriv for CS Summit 007. Hopefully we've got Train in just a moment coming through as we fly through the map. And these fly-throughs, they are very cool. They are very Bond. They are very Summit. So yeah, I like this a lot. And we're already into the game, so no waiting around. Thanks for sticking with us. Dig, OG, fast pop drop, and it's the headshot for Heat.
Oh, good nade damage coming through though to at least mitigate this damage somewhat, but maybe it doesn't matter at all. So much pain coming through here from Dig onto this A site. OG trying to do what they can. It's Valde and MBK in the 2 versus 4. And there are smokes down. They can't see all that much right now. They will try to double up their forces going to the back line together. We've got the creep on Ivy there from MBK. Trying to find those taps, trying to find the connections, trying to find a way back in, and maybe that is the start of something. Holzerk will fall. MBK can gain some more ground. Valde, he is running ahead, and it looks like Freiburg realized where he was coming from, but it's not going to be enough. MBK tapping the bomb. The pressure is on right now. Hare, great shot there, but Valde looking to try to finish things off. One more player to go. Heap shows himself. Valde, can he make it happen? He cannot. Not this time. It's up to Heap, and he will deliver again. He's been phenomenal so far in this best of 3, and it continues here right out of the gate on Train.
What a champ, man. This guy just does not stop. And yeah, big booster Phil coming into a lineup with some of the best Sweden has to offer. So showing up in a big way and finding that pistol for Dig. OG already feeling the burn. It never stopped. It never ended. They're still on fire from that previous map, and now we've got a force in the second. CZs are out. A couple of MP9s. Close position towards team main, but Dig are walking inner right now with 4 out of their 5 players. Still a lurker on the Ivy side in Harry. Looking like a full B execute. Not a lot of util. This is the perfect round to do it. Freiburg, sorry, on Ivy is selling the fake. He's been smoked off, but that's not a problem because his team are about to take the near empty B bomb site. I say that. The rotates in for Mantu. It's timed well with a scout. He's going to be watching from the back of CT. Can he hold down the line? Can anyone do anything as these Ts flood the bomb site? They've run right past the player on the trains, though. That could be a chance, but not for long for Valde. Mantu falls as well, and it's a 5-on-3 that might just force a save for OG.
Yeah, I was going to say that it's quite a cool approach to almost just say we're going to stack a site and we'll leave like one guy on that other site, and if he gets that magical 2K or something, we can consider going for it. But otherwise, you know, we can just carry all this stuff into the next round, and that's also a possibility. And looks like they are going to do that. And you could also always make setups to try and punish the other team for maybe playing inefficient exit strategies from the bomb sites. And maybe you'll catch, if you're able to isolate a player, play to isolate a player, and pick up a gun that you can, you know, use into the next round too. So OG really trying to get every little bit of value they can here, saving these 3 weapons and the Kevlar and even with the helmet, they're into this next round, into the 3rd round, where you can see that they're still in a situation where they need to save. So still a lot of damage that can be done by OG, especially on Train. Lots of weird things can happen on Train with some of the angles of engagement you're dealing with. So we'll have to see what OG are up to here. Valde picking up the taser. We got a HE grenade on MBK. So a few bits and bobs to work with for OG.
I want to see someone do what Boomich does, man. Take these Zeus. Actually, wait, it's right here. Oh, he did it! He did it to him. He hit him with one of those, man. It's unreal. It's unheard of. The Zeus coming in clutch. But, you know, we say all that. It's cool that, like, the Zeus gets a kill. However, Tony Hauser gone, and the bomb's still down in towards his B site. So, yeah, Alexa B trying to get stuck in with his CZ. Does betray him out in the open there. And this should be Dig getting that 3rd, right? It was just those saving players alongside the Zeuses that were able to go into this round for OG. So you weren't really expecting much. They get away with the kill. Maybe something else if MBK is looking keen with this MP9. But it will be 3 on the board for Dignitas. Unless they like get 10-second ninja defuse, that ain't happening. So they get away with the round. They even find MBK. And they might deal with Issa as well, just to make it a little bit sweeter. There he is with 1. And the trade is found right away. So Dignitas onto 3 on their map pick over here on the T side. It's a good start. Similar to Inferno, right? Where they get the pistol, they get the anti-eco rounds locked in. And now we have the rifles coming through. Mantu even bringing that AWP out right away. And Halzerk's going to have his over on the T side as well. So we get to see that AWPing head-to-head out of the gate, and that's very, very exciting, I think.
Yeah, and I think you guys highlighted it previously. This is a huge tell in terms of how this game can go. Halzerk versus Mantu and the impact that they have respectively with those sniper rifles. And to kick things off here, we will see some control inner here for Dig. The smoke there can make things a little bit scary sometimes, but they can actually go straight down through the smoke. No questions asked, and the entries coming through very quickly. Of course, we had one towards the Olafmeister position on the A side at the same time to make things even more confusing and more difficult for OG. And I don't know what they're going to do here. Surely they want to be thinking about saving this, protecting the AWP. There's so much value in their hands, and a value that can really carry over into the next round very effectively if they're able to keep it.
Yeah, it's not pretty to have a round basically decided within seconds, right? And they just finding 2 immediate entries and forcing the save of OG. They do kill Frybug on the hunt. Will there be any more Dignitas players throwing themselves into the window? Or will OG finally get away with something in this round? It's not a pretty picture, though. 4-0 for Dignitas as the bomb goes off on B. And, man, yeah, we know the Swedes love Train. We know that carried on not only to the NIP of old, but even to the NIP of now. And these Swedes as well. So, yeah, they're going to be ready for this one. I think that, I assumed OG were 2-0 coming into this series. After seeing them win the first map, I actually now think this series has 3 on it because of how close it was, because of how competitive Dig were on Inferno. I'd like to think they could steal this one away and send us to dust. But yeah, OG, they want to get it done and dusted nice and easy. I don't know if it's going to be the case, though. Mantu back on the AWP. It was saved. He can buy Kev behind it, and maybe we can see him take on Halzerk in this round. Dig set up a little bit more outside A this time around, rather than just crunching B with a 4. And talking of crunch, Valdik goes for some aggressive play with a flash, but finds nothing from it. Dignitas are patiently waiting outside of the bomb site, and now moving in late into those B halls, as Valdik has conceded the ramp position.
So things slowing down here. I like the forward positions from OG. Having that set up forward on the A side is really good at dealing with those faster plays. But you can also get information. You can, for example, Mantu doesn't have any flashes, but he would be in a position to pop flash MBK into forward positions to get more info. And that's always a very important prospect if you can read the pacing of the opponents well and you can time that info play well. But here comes the play into the B site. They're creeping upper. This can be quite dangerous. Alexi B, oh no, he's going to just absolutely crush this push before it can even get started. 2 headshots raining through, and Halzerk missing his flick. That is not a good sign here for Dignitas.
Yeah, they've got to leave B, right? But they do have Heat. Oh, I was going to say, in an all right position. However, up through Pop as well. There is one man in the back line he's dealt with. So Halzerk left in this one very low, and out into the arms of Mantu he goes. OG, they get their first on the board. And yeah, missed opportunity from Halzerk. If he was able to get that kill into the B site, well, suddenly, the game's back on. You're able to push in. Instead, he misses it. He gets tagged in the process, and that actually leads to Dignitas going back, leaving, and then running into the Pop player that's moved up through Pop Dog.
And I'm worrying a little bit here for Dignitas. If we look at the statistics, this map is one of the lesser played maps for both of these teams in their map pools. They don't encounter this too much. We have 4 maps total played in the last 3 months for OG on this map, 50% of which they have won. And for Dig, it's even less played, 3 maps played of Train and only 33% won. So, and you'd imagine that most of these matches are going to be against a higher caliber opponents for the likes of OG. And not to say that Dig don't know how to play Train. And I think one thing for me, because statistics don't ever tell the whole story, is the fact that contextually speaking, if you're able to play Inferno well, and if you can show off like a great understanding of all the fundamentals, which I really feel that Dig did that in the first map, then Train has all of those same fundamentals. It's just understanding how to apply those in a way that stylistically makes sense for your team. And so I'm looking forward to seeing Dig defy the statistics in this matchup and to show us the improvements that they have made. And we do need to see some more from Halzerg for sure. He's looking a little bit cold still, but we'll see how that progresses.
Yeah, Valde again making a bit of a move in the B halls. He's thrown his smoke, he's climbed above it on the railing, and he might get offered up a free kill here as a player comes around the corner. Valde falls off the ledge and gets shot through the smoke. The timing could not have been worse, and that's an opening kill for Dig that could set them into B. I say that is a double rotate, 2 players moving in off of the connector, and even closer control towards team main for OG. This is good map control for MBK and Issa, right? They've got their eyes on Pop. They know they have team main covered. It does leave Ivy open. That's a bit of a risk, but there's a lot of announcement from Dignitas as they throw mollies and smokes up that position. So OG are going to concede it and hope that it ends in an A-Rap that they can actually deal with from this deep positioning. You already see one of those B rotates has left and coming back in through spawn to try and help out on A. Is that AWP? The barrel for MBK could be a problem as Freiburg looks around the corner. He's actually looking into the wall rather. Freiburg is none the wiser, at least for now. The ghost gun.
These 2 1v1s are so critical. T-Main and Pop Dog. I'm so curious who's going to win these ones. Freiburg. Oh, it looks like Matu and MBK will kick off the action effectively. There is a possible lurk down Pop, and that's going to be Hari. He's able to actually find the kill onto Issa. That might be a saving grace here. Indeed, Hari finds the back of Matu. MBK now looking to strike from Team Main, and he will do just that. Ooh. 2 quick frags to equalize it to a 1v1. Not much time to plant the bomb here, and Hari's going to have to just stick it, I'd imagine, straight away, and there's no option for him whatsoever. LXCB will take him down, and that was a close one. I felt like so many things could have happened in that round.
And despite OG being a man down, it's that deep position, it's that aggro move into main, and it's MBK once again, who's really been a shining star in this series to put up multiple kills. Even that flank for Alexa B, he wasn't spotted in the round at all. They'd already killed the Pop player in Issa, and that's why Harry's planting for it and not for the connector. Alexi rotated B early once Valde died, and he re-aggroed up on the Pop flank. So yeah, never spotted, never seen, and never known to come in on that flank there. We'll catch OG a second round. Dig still left on Deagles and Nades, or just a single HE rather. Not a lot to play with at all, and the chance for OG to continue building into the CT side.
The tease. Halzerg wants it. Oh, that was close. I was feeling the headshot there. I feel like the game is lying. The game is lying. Well,
yeah, man, it always lies to me. I should kill everyone I peek, but game's lying, isn't it? So just stacked against me, man. Valve always win. That's the saying, isn't it? So look, Halzerg with his Deagle, just Deagles out for Dignitas. And they're being very, very patient, hoping that they get given something. You know, OG have kind of shown that they're not afraid to get stuck in. They're not afraid to go aggressive, but this isn't one of those rounds where you're going to see that happening. Also, there's a 4-man stack in towards this A bomb site. You do have a rotation back towards Inner from MBK. Mantu trying to take that peak, gets tagged a lot lower than he would have liked, and Halzerg's Deagle will deliver the first kill. Now in with another. Oh, a real chance here for Halzerg. He's found a bit of a window out through Ivy. He's dodged the AWP as well. Still a man back in the site in the form of Valde, and Halzerg can't quite get his number. He can't quite find him. There's the pincer, but Valde's still putting up numbers, and Halzerg has just missed every single timing. Finally, there it is. And now down to the 1v1. It's Mantu, the man that he tagged up earlier on. He's got to finish the job that he started, and he will save the round. Dignitas with their Deagles are there to put 5 on the board, and that is one that you're going to want to forget about if you're OG.
I love the wide peek there from Halzerg. Great awareness. As you say, very annoying situation, very frustrating for him to try to find Valde on the train, on the bomb train there, but works out in the end for Dig. And man, it's just one of those things. You see it's just a bunch of Deagles, but the magical element is always going to be timing. You know, do you have players who can have good timings in a position where you can catch your opponents in bad timings, and that they found amazing spots for themselves. And what an upsetting round to win as well, as far as OG are concerned. That really tips the scales on its head in terms of the economy, especially. And on that CT side, it's already so delicate, much like Inferno. So Dig are off to a incredibly good start here. This could be a massive half off the back of this. If they play their cards right, OG are going to struggle. But perhaps there's some magic to be found in timings here for OG as well. I don't want to count them out.
I mean, you know, we've already seen the Pistols deliver once, right? So who's to say they can't do it again? But now on the other side of things, they have gone back towards this like quad outside stack and leaving just Valda to play over here towards the B site. Now, he used to be a mean B anchor, did Valda. So let's see if he's able to kind of keep that going. He's only armed with the Deagle. And yeah, look at this from OG. This is all because they've pushed the player aggressively in through main, and they've not heard or seen anything. So they're trying to get one step ahead. They've bought 2 more to supplement this B hole, the 4th even rotating in. And Dignitas, they don't know it, but they're walking into the maws of the beast. The Pistols deliver the first few kills, and there's even more to come through. Finally, we see a bit going back in favor of Dig, but the Pistols could do it. It's down to the 1v1, and this now is the man that pushed up through main. It's MBK rather, not Alexa B, pushing in through the back line, all the way from this this main push. We saw him attempt earlier on, and Freiburg seemingly with the read is very, very low. MBK now is armed and dangerous as well, finding that AK on the rafters. He's out and about, and he's looking for Freiburg, but Freiburg's not giving anything over. This is a ballsy position for Freiburg to play, right? He clearly knows where MBK is, what his game plan was in this round. And now for MBK, time's running out. He's got to get on this bomb, and he's got to get on it soon. Freiburg hitting every single time, and man, he's won this 1v1 out, no questions asked. And even though he falls right at the very end, it's still a round for Dig that is saved from the jaws of defeat, right? Freiburg offering up those kills, getting it down to the 1v1, and then having the read. You know, he wins that round essentially without even like fighting. That's how he wins it, is just by playing it well, by staying out of MBK's eyesight.
Especially the realization kicks in when he's got the trade on the site when there's 20 seconds left and he's not being repeated, he's not being chased by that final player, and it gets that deep planting but doesn't play for it, and that's the key. MBK rather comes in on upper and is clearing oil, is clearing con, is clearing backtracks, but Freiburg is double back. That's an AWP collat from Halzerk, but not one kill, just damage to both. Hate to see it really, but still, it's damage that could go a long way in a rifle round like this. It was a great eco attempt for OG that gets it down to the wire. They're trying to break the money of Dig, but that will certainly get in the way of things. Nice run boost from Halzerk, and he nails the shot, finishing the job onto Alexa B. So an opener for Dig, and their eyes set on the A site as they split it from every position. I say that, leaving Ivy now, but they've got Pop, they've got Main, and they've got the advantage.
Yeah, and the MBK and Mantu are already very low in health as well. This is a desperate spot. They're trying to take some control here. You can see they're trying to tease and poke and prod into this team main position, playing close, trying to get some kills back, but they will be overwhelmed pretty quickly. They didn't commit in. I think they were trying to bait out some counter utility or a peek or someone playing anti-flash, something, but they got absolutely nothing. What an amazing start here from Dig. It went from bad to worse for OG, and what's really great as well is that you're seeing a team here in terms of Dig who are responding well when they get the 5v4 advantage. They understand how to capitalize on that by coordinating their players in the good spacing, good positioning, good timing to abuse the fact that they've put their opponents in a pretty bad spot. And it's you can tell a lot about a team as to how they, what protocols they have in the 5v4 on the T side. And now it's just a case of trying to hunt down some of these guns. However, Dig, do have to be careful because their economy is not in great shape here, so they don't want to lose too many guns. A great peek from Heap to take down Mantu. So this is really worked out nicely now. If he can keep that AWP away from Valde. Oh, yeah, there we go. The AWP will be kept away from OG. They're in a lot of trouble right now.
7-2 down though. It's a position we've seen them before. It's a position we've seen them recover from, but I don't know if this is going to be the same case today. Especially with not getting away with a single gun there, right? Full broke now as they sit on 3k a player. You can dig armor if you want, but nothing really much more. And Halzak, we've not seen him have a massive impact off of the AWP, but, you know, he's been getting picks here and there. He got that collat the other round with some damage. He found the run boost kill onto Ivy. And so, yeah, the AWP is present, the AWP is in the server, and there's been less to say about Mantu in the CT side, but money certainly comes into play when we want to talk about that defense AWP right now. And OG aren't going to have it for a little bit. So, one more eco. Let Dig get just that one step further to the finish line. I say finish line, well, that will be all the way over on Dust 2 if Dig want to take us there. And so here's that half buy. Let's see if OG can make anything happen in round number 10.
Yeah, they've been good at getting away with more than perhaps they should be allowed on these pistols. You know, that's something that we've seen really from both teams. But for OG, it's all about, you know, finally getting one of these close pistol rounds down to something more than just it being close, right? You want to take one in your favor. And losing MBK early on, well, that's not really the start you wanted. Issa, the Firewalker, hello, he's up above. A little toasty for him, and they hear the tag, and so he's like, nah, man, I know you're there. He actually locks in the double. He's opened up this play, and now it's the Diga Valda. He's going to find one, but that's the extent of it. Dignitas onto 8. And yeah, I mean, I really love what we're seeing right now. I think Dan was dead on when he said how, you know, it's like when they get this advantage, when they're in these 5-on-4s, they're very on the ball. It feels like everyone's aware of like what the procedures are, how they're going to go about it. You see, they deal with MBK and Pop, and they waste no time taking advantage of that little space they've created by pushing Heap up. He secures the double, right, which goes on to really just lock in that round. Issa, it's a bit unfortunate for him, you know, maybe if he didn't get tagged in the molly there, that ladder wouldn't have been checked, but you hear the tag, and at that point, he's a dead man walking. So, what's this round going to look like for Dignitas? They were a lot over towards B early on, but that molly is denied any kind of fast play down the ramp. And so instead, they're just going to go back to the drawing board, right? The idea they had planned, maybe a fast B, that molly made them go, nah, you know what, we'll reconsider. And it's the right call to make, as Forrest has just demonstrated there, taking the man advantage early on once again for the side of Dignitas.
Yeah, there was a molly in May, but it wasn't deep enough, and so MBK pushes in, but he gets re-peeked. MBK hears or gets heard rather by Forrest. Double AWP is in play. Alexi B is making it work, finding 2 pickups with that gun, and he's pushed up to try and help Issa out towards the E-box. Damage done to the man in Pop, but Halzak does finish the job, and Alexi B has to back up as he's been tagged low as well. To the heavens he goes. Mantu still with the AWP as well on this A site, but he's lost a lot of ground inside a connector on his early B rotate, and now Dig have been given that yard space. Look at Heap going around on the wrap. This is such a big play for Heap. He's not even taking the A site where he could walk into one of these 2 AWPs. He's getting a lot of space and coming in on a flank instead. They're still watching this angle though. Mantu just looked away, and Heap now hitting the timing. Unfortunately, unless he climbs up the heaven, he's never going to find Alexi B, who is tucked right at the back. He might even call this site is clear, and Dig are going to try and get this bomb planted. He seems aware. There's Alexi giving it up. Heap dropping the smoke, but Alexi drops the nade right down the ladder with a kill. Now the retake is on as the bomb gets planted, and OG, despite being double AWP, are a man up.
And that smoke actually helped Alexi B get out of that position that was quite dangerous, and would absolutely, without the smoke being there, would have been taken down. So things are going quite poorly here for Dig. They need some way to save this. That's not a bad start though from Halzak. He's been phenomenal so far on train, which is what we wanted to see. Now playing that position, trying to buy time. They don't know exactly where Harry is. It's all up to him. He finds the backstab onto Mantu, and look at how they're just playing the time there, and also the attention game, and Alexi B will go down as well. Very well played by Dig there. That's a great recovery. Again, it really was starting to look a little bit grim for them in that 3v3. OG were playing it really well too, just playing it very passive. The HE falling down to prevent the play that Dig were looking for, but still, they're on top of things.
Yeah, just the trading of peaks, as you say there, right? Switching between Pop and Ivy peaks, and OG don't know where to look. They get their face pushed in the dirt, and now nades are out in round number 12, stacked into main, and only a bit of damage onto Halzak, no kill. Underwhelming at best for OG. They were hoping to gimmick an early frag, but 3 of them find nothing. 2 left. Maybe they can chuck them up the B ramp or deny a plant later on A if they come back in time. to see if those get put to good use as Dig creep up Ivy. They've been really good at taking Ivy and just conceding and going back after they get a kill. It draws OG's attention away towards it. Alexi with a deagle spam only gets one, but that's pretty good on a round like this. Can anyone else in OG step up? MBK smoked off in the pop dog. Dig only a site right now, and the one nade left up is all OG really have to work with on Issa.
And once again, it's just this patience, right, from Dignitas. They're in this 4-on-4, and now they're kind of saying to OG, look, we don't have the bomb down yet, but it's your move to make. You know, we've got the site. They're waiting to see what the responses are from OG. And when they're not given anything, well, then they'll get that bomb down. Now they really apply that pressure to OG, and the pistols haven't found much yet. You're hoping that this flank can amount to something for Issa, and it's going to have to. He's all alone. And my oh my, look at how many players are there staring right back at him. Issa is almost definitely a dead man walking at this point in time, and he kind of knows it as well. Dignitas are going to move on to 10, and so this is incredibly dominant, right? No sign of that same comeback that we saw on Inferno. It's instead looking like Dignitas are keen to take a dominant victory. And at that point, you know, where does that leave us in the grand scheme of this series? Because you think about Inferno, the map pick of OG, and it was so close. Like, there was a time where Dignitas were about to take that game potentially. And now here on Train, the map pick of Dig, it's looking so dominant. So where does that leave us moving on to map number 3 if we get there?
Your guess is as good as mine, Harry. We're not there yet, though. Let's see if OG still have any wind in their sails. Double AWP continuing. We know Alexi can be prominent with that. He already showed up in a previous round. Man2 with his has not really been given too much of an opportunity to go off. Dig have been setting up towards B in a lot of these early rounds, even if they don't always commit. Going back for it, spamming the smoke. They know what Valdi's been up to in this box hall's position before, and this one does look like a full B commitment for Dig out of the gate as well. Alexi, his ult might have to do all that heavy lifting as he's in on early towards the connector. And I think at this point, OG again, they take the main control. They know that Pop is contaminated, or at least above it. They know this is a B hit. It's just about trying to put a stop to it.
And as you guys were kind of pointing out, it feels like so much is weighted on this here for OG, and not a bad start from Val. They're slowing things down. That does buy time for his teammates to get more forward positions. We can see that starting to happen. Alexi B by oil there, trying to see what he can get done, but unfortunately, it's lackluster in this instance, as we do get the rest of OG trying to make their way in. 3 versus 3 now, as that bomb is going to be planted by Freiburg. Forest defensive with the AWP is holding things down, actually even trying to push further forward with it, and he is looking confident right now with that AWP in hand. He's got Freiburg on the AWP as well, somewhere behind him, like watching the other line towards the connected position. And this is OG can't push forward anymore. They're giving it up. They're saving their guns. It's not a good situation. I keep feeling like OG going to find their way back in, but you know, one thing I think that's just consistently been going the way of Dig is that on rounds when they've been defaulting, they've been getting their opening round picks very reliably in either on Ivy, you know, because of the AWP. They have good nade damage at the start, or it's just finding that damage through T main as well. And with such a consistency to opening picks, and the fact that they've been converting those 5v4s really effectively, there's no wonder that they're looking at such a great scoreline. OG can't seem to stop that bleed.
Yeah, there's no double AWP I want to see other than Freiburg and Forest wheeling it together. Sadly, thrown back to the hands of Halzak. That being said, looking for another opener. The nades in main do more damage than the last time around, but no kills for either team. That molly denies Man2. No way he can run through it for a fight. Even if he did, it's not much of a kill being offered up. Harry is playing very passive in the B halls. Pressure on Pop as Valdi is taking that position, likely off of spawn. He has Issa for support at the Pop Dog, or the E-box right now rather. But either way, it's a slow start with no picks out of the gate.
Yeah, and really, you know, what could happen next is anyone's guess at this point, right?
Yeah, we've lost our PGM for the time being. I imagine it was the same, Dan, so we'll be waiting for that. We have no visual.
Well, that's kind of cool. You know, we can guess what's happening. You know, Hugo, you're pretty good at this. You've got the gift. So tell me.
I'm on it.
Oh, here we go. Look at that, Harry. Oh, but there's an exchange going down. But Valdez swings in, and he's feeling brave with it. He gets himself a double, and in doing so, finally, Dignitas, like they haven't really been in this position all too much. Finally, they're told, no, you can't just walk into A and absolutely demolish us. They're forced to go elsewhere. Look at Valdez. Oh, he's low from the fire, but he has gotten into the back line just in time. He knows about the B play now, and does go down 20 seconds. And Dignitas are going to try and run it around the world, back into A. There is the rotation from Alexa B. He's calling for his teammates to come in from that B site, but the Molly has denied the rotation. And so Dignitas, they've made something of this round yet. They've got it down to a 2-on-2. It wasn't looking good, especially with Valde making that kind of play where he barrels in up through the pop dog. You thought he had them trapped, but the timing was just there for Dig, and so now the retake is on.
Oh, so difficult. They have no idea exactly where Heap and Forest reside. Where are they playing these post-farm positions? There's only so much time before you have to start running around, and then the advantages here now for the T side for Dig really start to rack up, and they have to try and pressure that bomb. There goes the tap. Nice headshot from Heap. Repositioning, looking for the next follow-ups. It's good from Heap, and that will be the round there. And you know, it's just Dig. They just can't do any wrong right now. OG are really experiencing a rough time. You know, Harry, for a second there, well, for like 10 seconds, I still didn't have the feed, so I was like, how is Harry doing this? It's so perfect. It's
yeah,
so
man. Well, you know, I'm
He's in the game.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually in it. You know, I'm like EA Sports, man. I'm in the game, and that's where you want to be. You wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Not when you've got Dignitas. Not when you've got the legends of Forest and Freiburg, and then the rest of the gang around them showing up. And doing this to OG. It's looking like they could get us to a third map, and it's all come down to this. Now, Alexa B is like, well, enough is enough, really. I'm just going to MP9 them down in Ivy. They have lost the B site in the meantime. Everything's a bit up in the air right now, but what a blunder here. Dignitas, they've got to go back and get the bomb. Freiburg's running for it, but they can hear him. Over here in main is Issa. He hears these footsteps, and so he knows that this bomb is rotating in late.
Oh my
That's now
God.
going to give a bit more room to OG. Look at Harry, man. He's trying to make a big play happen. Oh, lordy. He just might do it to them. There's the peak. Now they know he's here. And there's going to be a lot of eyes looking his way. He's drawing attention in, at the very, very least. He's got himself a double. Freiburg, there's one in the site with you. Oh, no, but he does get the bomb down in his dying breaths. Freiburg's given them something. However, it's all stripped away by MBK. And so to round out this first half, OG, they just get 3 to their name on the back of MBK, sneaking into the site, putting up the double. They find 3. It's still Dignitas with the lead. It's still them looking good, trying to take us to a third map. And with how things are looking right now, we just might get there. If you want to find out whether we do, you're going to have to join us in just a minute when we're back from the break.
And welcome back. It's 12-3 at the half. It's a dominant start, and it's Dignitas trying to take this series the distance, trying to bring us to a third. I don't know if there's going to be much standing in their way. OG, safe to say a pistol round is a necessity, and even then, they'll be, begging for rounds. Harry, he gets that info at B. He calls the rotate early, and OG storm into the site. Harry caught in midair. It's only one man dying, though, as the rest are a little bit late to the party, and Harry is chowing down on that cake. He's taken 3 with the USP in the back of the site, and he's not stopping either. What a round from Harry. Dear, oh dear. That is, yeah, is that GG? Do we call it there, boys? Is that where Dignitas just roll out the red carpet and walk back into the limo?
Yeah, it's looking pretty solid right now, I gotta say. I am really impressed. They got off to a great start. From we talked. I mean, we've covered it. They had great protocols to get advantages in a default. Their pacing, just their reactions, everything's been really, really awesome from them so far, and it's just really good to see. And it is a map that OG, can play. They can absolutely play this map extremely well. So it's definitely something that I think sets us up really nicely. Unless, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Obviously, OG have still rounds to play, and Forest, he's going to be in for a bit of a surprise here. Many players to find, but he's going to find them, and he's going to actually in a very controlled manner. We all know how good his movement is. Get his way down that ladder. He will, of course, drop a grenade to make things a bit more interesting there for the remainder of OG, and it looks like they can't really get too much going after all. So looking like they will get their way to 14 rounds. And what do we need to see from OG guys on this T side of theirs?
13 straight rounds.
Yeah, honestly, guys like he's normally very, very instrumental to OG. He's had a very, very rough time thus far. Like, you think about what his entire first half was like. It was him getting mopped up occasionally over towards his A site without really getting much done. Kind of trying to lock down the main area. You had guys like MBK looking to take Pop Dog, but that was never really working either. There hasn't really been much that's felt nice for OG, and if it's not felt nice to us, it must feel even worse in the server, right? That's always how I look at it. They haven't had a lot of good times, unlike Dignitas, who have always been feeling good. Is that the ace for Harry, or am I just not reading the screen? I don't have my glasses on, I'll be honest.
Yeah, numbers are hard.
Yeah, man, numbers are hard. No, we got a bunch, and that's pretty good. That's fine by me.
I was going to say, it's easy to talk about players like Freiburg and Forest, and to an extent Halzek as well in this team. But, man, Heap has been huge in this series. He was incredible back on Inferno. He's kept that going in this map as well, although he's not top of the board. It's Harry who is, and he was the guy who was actually struggling on Inferno. So a recovery for him, and Heap just going leaps and bounds ahead. So there's just no negatives right now for Dig. Yeah,
there was that round back on Inferno where he almost got the ace, and it felt like that was just the tipping point, man. He's been so much better since then. It really built the confidence up. And Dignitas, well, get OG out, it feels like, man. Their time has come. Dignitas have locked this one in by the looks of things. Not really much that you can say or do if you find yourself on the other side.
That was one very quick T-side yard rush. I feel like for Train, when I play it, when I'm CT side, we can't hold down a yard rush. When I'm T side, we can't get out of main. OG are both of those sides right now, just getting slaughtered on the A attack. And here it is, map point, Dust 2 on the horizon. Can we get there? It's up to Dig to decide.
Yeah, looking for that Ivy pressure from OG, that is. They are looking to go quite quickly, actually, up Ivy. Halzek will be able to fall back behind the cover of smokes, but it will have to give up that position. And you can see the crunch now on this A bomb site for Dig. They have a lot of potential issues in, if they give up that back line, which now is being looked after by Forest, who will actually smoke the molly there. That will actually help out massively, because that will prevent OG from exploiting that back line and really being able to overall exploit the poor positioning around the A bomb site Train, which you can see now has been adjusted, having a more central defense around Pop and Gen, and it's actually looking like now the push will come through, and after the trades are said and done, it's not looking too bad for either side at the moment. This is going to be pretty instrumental these next moments, and Freiburg, he is confident. You love to see it.
Oh, and with good reason, right? Dignitas, they're about to do it to him. They're about to 16-3 OG. And make it look pretty easy along the way. It's left on to Valda in one of these clutches, and he hasn't really been able to deliver them yet, but this might be the first. This man down, but there's Forest with the swing, and it's that immediate re-peek from the same place that he's just cleared that catches them off guard. Dignitas take it at 16-3, and now this gets very, very interesting. You know, a lot of us coming into this thought OG were just going to walk all over